Not a long break at all. We're already back here on Cash. Agent versus Epsilon, game 2. Fight, as I want to say, since we did have Mortal Kombat earlier.
We missed our chances to do the puns. We didn't make any
I said it
fatality or
once.
flawless. Did you? Oh,
yeah, I did not think to say flawless or fatality or anything like that, but pistol round here. Obviously, Epsilon would like to get off to a good start on their map pick, on their T side, and of course Lions would like to make a stand and fight for a chance to take it to a third map, which would be Mirage in this case. But Mixwell already starting off, brings down 4 as he shot in the back there from Neto. Oh, Spitty with a nice look into B Warehouse. He'll take down Arky. He's looking for one more, but Alexis peeking out will find him. So B side still not quite open. Actually completely closed. Sif, Neto, and Ultra all around the area. Neto getting a 3K on that round.
Good start for Lions. This is what they needed. My game just crashed as well, Helium.
Yep, someone bought a P90. It crashed my game, and I think our producer's game crashed just prior to that. So.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, man. Obviously, we use the cameraman for our, like, a physical cameraman, and it really gets the game super buggy and crashes it a lot for everybody, because like all 3 of us just crashed at the same time, and this is not the first time that has happened to us.
I'm just trying to scurry back into the action.
Well, hopefully it'll just be Agent surviving an anti-eco and nothing more than that.
Been having a lot of server issues lately, though. It's been a consistent problem for me. But yeah, I've just jumped back into the round here, and Lions, they're actually struggling in this round a lot. The bomb's been planted, and they're 3v1 against them. Cypher's the last remaining player. He's got an M4 and Kevlar, and he wants to save. The bomb was planted on B. I'm not sure if you can see the pictures or not, so I'm kind of doing radio broadcasting. But regardless, Epsilon will win this round. And, well, Lions have let this one slip again, because this is an identical position to last map, right? They won the pistol, and then they started losing straight afterwards.
Yeah. They're like, oh, not again. Not again. Mixwell looks like with the scout did quite a bit of work. He found 2 kills. Stoker with the kill, and... well, that doesn't add up. That's like 3 kills, and there were 4 deaths. Am I losing my mind? Did one of them accidentally nade themselves?
It's possible. I didn't
or
see
DC at the start of the round and then come back edge or something? I don't know. We will never know.
Could it be buggy if we got DC'd at the start of the round as well, though? Or does it not work
that's a
that
good
way?
point, yeah. Who knows, really. Either way, I'll just chalk it up to Mixwell with the scout. This round, though, maybe not going to be as lucky. Already down to 30 HP with that scoped weapon. And it's honestly really broken forceful lines by both teams right now. This should be an interesting round.
There have been an exchange of frags, though. Make that 2 kills for Epsilon, who is starting in the same form that saw them take Inferno 16-5 in the end. Mixwell still has that scout. He sees a couple of players pushing him. In fact, I think he just saw the one, who is now T-side of B. Neto with the CZ frag, however, is going to make things interesting. Scythe chimes in as well. That bomb's been planted. But all 3 players are pretty much just a couple taps away from death. Mixwell's being aggressed. He misses the shot. And now it's all on Arky. He's behind the back. Pillars gets the first frag, but not the second. And with that defuse kit, that will be a 2-1 scoreline now for Lions. And that's a round that I thought Epsilon may just walk away with. So well played to Scythe, Ultra, and Neto at the end.
I believed that Deagle was going to kill all 3 of those people. They were so low. And it's very unfortunate that Mixwell wasn't able to kill the player. He had that scout. Just needed to hit 1 shot onto the player pushing him as he was in the sunroom. Then he maybe could have got another from the side. Because he actually, in the end, I think he got killed from the player that was in checker. Not actually the player that was pushing him. But anyways, it'll still be all AKs here for Epsilon since they didn't really buy into that last round. And Arky will find the opener onto Sif. That was over towards the middle. Oh, it's still going to get Ultra as he tries to jump over the truck. It actually lights up the other player through the smoke. I mean, he knew where his crosshair was, and he didn't move, so he knew it was still in exactly the right spot. Mixwell tosses a nade and finds his second. So 3-on-2 now, going for the retake here onto the A site.
Well, again, Lions.mix are in a position where they have to try and retake. We've already seen this a couple of times, and it's worked for them once.
That's
Of
unfortunate.
course, spray from FAMAS, but then again, it is the FAMAS. It's not the most reliable of weapons. It's a 1v1. Spitty is going to be moving on to the site, and there's Mixwell from behind. 6-2, by the way, is Mixwell playing very, very confidently at the start. And that is going to be Lions.mix back on eco, I assume, because they just force spawned. I mean, they could potentially get some pistol upgrades here, but I'm not. Oh, they're going for it. Okay.
What?
I was not expecting that, because this puts them in such a bad place. If they lose this, they could be 4-2, even 5-2 behind.
Yeah, maybe they just got a bad read on the money situation. They're thinking like, oh, Epsilon's going to be kind of broke still as well, but no, not really the case. Epsilon's more or less got a full round. Spitty, though, with the FAMAS still will catch one now. Perhaps up to Mixwell, he finds a 7th frag there, and once again, it's an opener for his team. I think they are maybe reading into the B stack a little bit. As Ultra brought down to 1 HP through that smoke. Neto, though, under the boost, he can hear this. Oh, and yeah, missing the first shot with the CZ, your spray goes pretty all over the place after that, so not able to bring home that frag. 4 on 3 right now, and well, this will be tough. Your loss bonus at this point will be building up a little bit more, but it should still be Agent, assuming they lose this round, which they should. We'll probably have to double eco, and that's going to be tough.
Exactly. I think this is why we both reacted in a similar way at the start of the round when we saw them force buy, and that's with a bit of disbelief. Because this is very much shooting yourself in the foot. Now, maybe they'll just pull off a sick comeback in this round and it won't matter. But, as you say, they should lose this round from this position. A saving grace is that the bomb has not been planted just yet, so with 30 seconds, the T still have to pull themselves together to A, but they are going to move on here because Scythe started to come through to connector. Got caught out by Don Q. He gets traded out, but Ultra's only on 1 HP. Spitty's on 12. They may even think about just saving these weapons, honestly, which may come and rectify those eco issues a tiny bit. But no, they're going in. They're going in for the frags with such low HP. I don't understand that. I mean, surely you know there's no chance in defusing that bomb there in a 3v1 with 12 HP.
I would think not. Especially if it was going down for A main even, and a player was already making his way towards there, so it would have been very tough even if they found the first 2 frags to close it out, being as low as they were. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just accepted their fate. Like, hey, let's go for it. Let's just double eco as a team, and we'll be able to buy up again in round 8. But this will now put them on the back foot quite a bit. It should allow Epsilon to get to a 5-2 score line. I mean, not much hope on this round, but 1 deagle, and as I say it, Soaker does get his head taken off. And actually, Spitty gets 2. Deagle's been a pretty key weapon between these 2 teams.
Yeah, it's a weapon that I'll never understand because I absolutely suck with them. And yet I see these players just like one-tapping all over the place. But speaking of one-tap, Arky has done just that alongside Mixwell to bag up the round, and I think we could potentially see the buy-up from FAMAS's this round. I think it's going to be FAMAS's. It's going to be some rifles on the board. Hold on a second.
Nah, they're just going to go pistol armor.
So they want that effectively tells me they want an AWP, at least one.
Yeah. Or just like full utility nades to hold on to the site. Smokes, flashes, molotovs, or incendiaries, I guess in their case. Maybe so just get a full buy out there.
That force buy effectively turned into 3 ecos then. Because
no, just 2.
2 and then 12 with pistols, right?
I mean, I guess the force buy itself was like not even that forceful. Still kind of a very broken buy, and then to a full eco, and then this slight little force buy to even out the money. This is their first proper round, really. Round 8, and they double up.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, they're trying to change the pace of the round here from the CT perspective, get more picks. Let's see where those AWPers run, actually, because I'd expect to see one sort of mid and one probably on A, maybe even trying to push B fast. Yeah, Forces going B quickly, and then leaving mid. Wow, okay. The CTs have completely vacated mid with AWPs. That's surprising to me. What a shot from Force. Arky dropping down from vent just got wrecked in midair.
I have floating CT arms on my screen. This is weird, but well, it is working out so far for the CTs until right there. Mixwell coming out. He's been so good at getting these entries. Now Don Q trying to work his way around the site. Stoker will actually be the one to bring down Sif, and a 2-on-2 just like that. They're taking control of the site. Bomb, I think, has gone down in default. Both players coming from truck. Wow, what a shot from Fours. This guy with the op is terrifying. His first shot there to the player dropping vents early in the round, and there on the retake to get the player on top of forklift. Good stuff. And Stoker, working his way around the smoke, does find one kill. Makes it a 1v1 in Fours. Maybe not expecting to be that close to the wall. Will lose it. So that was a 1v2 that Epsilon was able to carry out there in the end. And that'll break Lions down once more, probably to see Pistol and Armor coming out this round from the CTs. No, they're going to try to force it up.
These forces, man. I mean, I can understand this force, maybe, because they do have enough to get M4s, and they do have enough to make a real go at this, but their force round in what was it, the 4th round or the 5th round was mind-blowing to me, personally. You can see Epsilon just quickly just running away with this. 6-2. Should pick this round up, but there is Force with the FAMAS, so hold that thought for a second. Looking for that second kill, but Donkey was there. Arky chimes back in, and Lions, they do have a bit of information because Ultras push right through mid on Warehouse, and the bomb carrier is right next to him. So that is bombed down with an AK-47. That could turn the tide to this round, but there is Alexis once again with 2. Arky seals it up. 7-2, and that was a force spy from Lions.mix. So this is looking like it could be 8-2 as well. Are they going to force again?
I mean, they're always going to be able to force at this point, just because they've got max bonus. But I would have rather have seen just P250 or 5.7 CZ armor do a stack, do maybe like a sort of one of your eco force spy strats that you would maybe have prepared, some CT aggression. Just try to catch Epsilon off guard by doing something completely different. Like, you've tried the static, classic setups. You tried double op granted in a very weird way, and that didn't quite work out. So, flip the script one more time. Do something crazy aggressive with pistols, catch them off guard, and actually, this time, still playing defensive, but Mixwell and Stoker going down to the pistols early on. So, honestly, with Kevlar and a rifle, you've got just about the same chance with full head armor and a pistol, to be honest.
Yeah. You can see here that, again, the trades were going to start off with Metuz's favor, but now suddenly it's Don Q by his lonesome, and he has been picked off, so finally one of these ecos does pay off for Lions.mix, but 7 rounds already on Cash side of T, or T side of Cash, I should say. Still a great start from Epsilon. Yeah, close enough. Words elude me right now. My brain's kind of melting. It's like 50, 60 degrees Celsius in my room.
Dang.
It's brutal.
You think you'd be the one that lived in Florida?
I know, man. It's horrible.
So right back to the double ops. They want to have another go at this, and again they will run this a 3-on-2 setup with not a soul towards middle. That's so strange. And already done Q for 4s, so 4-on-4 now. And it has been taken.
That seems like the summary of this map so far, man. Just weird, strange. not a lot has made sense.
Working their way into B. They've got mid control as well. Oh my gosh, this is such a fake though. The bomb is just sitting in the squeaky room, and I think Epsilon, yeah, they just need to pull back from B so that they can actually still defend here on A site. Alexis is in a good spot to catch a rotator and even it right back up to a 3-on-3. He hears the footsteps of another player, Ultra, coming through. Will check it, but with the op, not much he could do, especially since he jumped around the corner. And that's a big nade that's going to slow down Spinny, who will then be opped by Arky. So now it's a 3-on-2. The players for CT coming up truck. Now they're going to try to jump on the little hut on highway, checking below it. Now in a 1v1, he's going to smoke that bomb, try to get on the defuse, but on his cross back over, Arky will shoot him down. 2K for him, and Epsilon now with 8 rounds on this T side. And, well, money was reset, so only Ultras broke. It'll be another rifle round coming out for Agent.
They can afford this back up again, but the currency of rounds is completely against them, and they're starting to get bankrupt in that case. And those 1v1 scenarios are the rounds you desperately need to win, especially when you're this far behind. Flash in through mid. Epsilon looking to go here. There is a smoke down, which is going to stop their push for now, but they are still going up actually through that smoke. So 4 players just surrounding mid, with Don Q still trying to lurk and flank around on B. Couple frags exchanged. That is going to favour the terrorists right now, because it spreads those CTs even thinner. And Fours is by himself, but we've already seen this guy can pull off ridiculous AWP shots. He's missed 2, however. Does finally get the headshot. In fact, I think he hit Donkey, but it was through the box.
Him, yeah. Or
so,
walled him, whatever.
Yeah. Missed that one.
Woo!
Nice shot, though, on the re-peek. And a 2-on-2. Mixwell comes in. And there is Soka as well. 2-on-1 now against Neto.
This was such an important round. In my mind, this might be the round that you would look back to and think that's where we lost it. Neto has a big 1v2 on his hands right now. Can he get this first shot? He does. Doesn't even really take any damage from it. He picks up a kit. He runs over to the A site knowing that it's obviously not B. Bomb going down completely confirms that. Soker looking on the truck, looking for some fast peeks, expecting him to be coming from B perhaps. Now Soker sitting on the truck in a good spot too. This is, oh, it's actually the spot he is checking, and Neto will do it. I wasn't kidding around. This man knows how to clutch. He's very good in the late rounds, and that was such an important round. If they had lost that, they would have been completely broke, maybe saving twice, and that would have put Epsilon into the double digits with ease. Money though still really tight for Lions.
Completely agree. That was a potential, game-turning round there from Neto. He's 12 for 9. He's performing very well. Mixwell on 16 for 8. And these are the kind of rounds as well that can inspire the rest of your teammates. That could get, Ultra, who's not had the best game, 4 and 10, get his spirits raised, believe this comeback is possible. Double deagles for Epsilon with an AWP and an AK with a Tech 9. Not a great buy-up, but definitely good enough to do something. And the fact that Lions' economy is not great as well just adds to that as well. That fuel to the fire. Again, though, Epsilon are constantly getting mid, and this could be so huge, and that's the reason why you can see that there are Force. He's trying to flash through onto B entrance to stop the push coming in, but in doing so, he gets caught by Donkey, who just pushes through vent. It's like no one is interested in covering mid. It's such a huge part of cash.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
And in doing so,
stepping out with that FAMAS, gonna get one. Oh my gosh, Archie blows Ultra to Kingdom Come, and now Mixwell trying to peek out with the Deagle once more. Barrel gonna be spotted by Alexis. Deagle not quite working out. Not so accurate after the first shot. You can kind of keep the bullets close together if you start from a crouched position, but then you can't really move. So you're an easy target. But Sif, I mean, it really has no chance. Trying to just save this AK.
Yeah. Absolutely. The chance of him clutching are just slim to none. It's interesting that he'd even be in this position in the first place, because he really should have died earlier on. There's a couple of opportunities that Epsilon had to seal this one fairly confidently, only losing one player, but that wasn't the case. Either way, though, 9 rounds on T side. Pretty slick play from them. What's Lions' economy? Oh my goodness. Not good.
Really great. Luckily, terrorist weapons are just cheaper, so...
Well, it looks like we could be going to half-time, maybe even 11-4, because this buy-up is pretty horrific from Lions.
Yeah, 2 for 1 for Epsilon right now, for sure.
Yeah. 11-4 T-side, is that doable? I'm not too sure. I don't think so.
It'll be tough. So, Neto, though, finds 2 kills with that CZ. 4 on 3, they do have the advantage for a second. DogQ to even it right back up, though, and DogQ right on target, but it's Forrest who's behind that wall, right below the boost. He'll be smoked off now. DogQ will hit Ultra over towards that B connector, and they'll take their time. A minute and about 7 seconds on the clock when they got that pick. They can do whatever they want, and they'll go into that mid-control setup. Oh, Forrest is going to get caught off switching to, I think, a flash at that point. And now it'll just be Sif in a 1v3. All alone and on the wrong site. And I guess you just save. Oh, maybe that he's killed Arky now and the bomb hasn't gone down. He should go for this. So, a bit fortunate that Arky kind of played aggressive like that. Oh, but he's getting pinched. There's someone right behind him. Mixwell's pushed to CT spawn. He's the one making noise. So Sif is probably like, all right, I'll kill this guy. That's kind of pushed out to that tree, but instead shot down from DogQ, who came through with that Z connector.
I thought for a second that maybe Sif was going to be able to push through an upper if he was quick enough and get through onto site and like dissect the T's on the bomb, but no. As you say, you just got pinched from behind, and now, as we said before, it should be a 2-for-1 because Lions can't afford any assault rifles. It's back to pistols and armor and some grenades, including a lot of flashes. That isn't going to allow Neto to push through, but he doesn't get the spray.
Oh, so close to getting 2.
It was so unfortunate. You can almost understand his thought process, but Soka will frag his heavily tagged up teammate in the back, and that gives Lions a glimmer of hope here to take it 10-5.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I've lost another player, and now it's all on Spitty.
Toker, like, almost single-handedly allowed Lions to like salvage the half. He's on 4 HP and he killed his teammate, and like himself being so low now puts Spitty in a 1-on-2. Oh, eats that grenade. That took a lot of health off of him. So Soker will live, and that's Epsilon with 11 to 4.5. From what we've seen, it's going to be really difficult to come back from this. Obviously, the pistol round is a must for the terrorists, and beyond that, if they don't get the pistol, I'm sure it's over. Epsilon should be taking a 2-0, and it doesn't look like we'll get to see Mirage, but, you know, I'm always in the mood for an upset, or a comeback, rather.
I'm always up for comebacks as well. I would quite like to see Mirage today. It's a map I love casting, personally. But, again, we just got to be, you know, honest. I don't see it happening. I want to be optimistic. I want to say that Lions have it within them to bring this back and have a sick clutch performance, but honestly Epsilon was so confident on Inferno, especially on CT side. I mean, this could even go 16-4, and that's a bold claim, but if Epsilon win the pistol, I could see this going 16-4.
Let's see, Mixwell with 20 kills. I mean, some of his entries on the T side were nuts. Arky as well with 15, and then looking over to the other side, you know, four rounds is it. Neto is still 15 and 12. That's pretty impressive. I mean, even Spitty being 12 and 14 is not bad. Sif with 8 kills, Fours with 9. I mean, everyone actually did all right. It was just Ultra a bit rough with only 5 kills. And of course, there are a lot of decisions in terms of the economy, which we definitely questioned throughout that half. And not really playing mid was interesting as well. But it ended up pistol round. We got Fours getting that first kill. Arky and Don Q, though, answering right back. Neto still storming his way out. Sif going to bring down the player on the catwalk. So looks like Lions have done it. It's Alexis now into a 1 versus 3. Neto going to go for a quick peek. I think he gets hit in the head. We'll retreat out with 10 HP. Still 1-on-3 for Alexis. No reason to really not go for it. Maybe would want to save the Kevlar, but they got plenty of rounds to work with instead of Epsilon.
So he's being killed by a swarm of mosquitoes, like just taking little bites here and there, bites here and there,
10
and
damage,
eventually
10
falls
damage,
down.
10 damage.
Yeah, just from multiple directions. I felt so sorry for him there. It's like he's being bullied or something. It was horrible. You could see his aim was pretty on point though. It's just a couple of millimeters each time from landing those one-taps that USPs are so deadly for in the pistol rounds. But you know, I thought if Epsilon win the pistol round, they'll go 16-4. That's not going to happen. Lions, to their credit, they go through with the Glocks, they get the frags, they get the round. And now, maybe that comeback can become real. It's important they clutch these rounds, though, and they take them back. But they just come straight through onto site. They fear nothing. Right through the heart of the CT defense on A site, and they're going to get that plant down, and they should be able to reap the rewards as well.
Yeah, I thought for sure they saw Mixwell hop to the door. And then, as they saw him go by, they pulled out a Molotov, but in the end, that player still found the kill on him anyways. So just Don Q and Arky looking to save, you know, quite a bit of money here. 3,400 between the two of them, and now just the 1,700 on Don Q. So worth saving, but will he be able to? The hunting party swarming from all directions looking for him. And where do you look first? It's like Sunroom or T-Spawn, and looks like they found him. He can't get anything. Neto brings him down with the P90, and Lions doing exactly what they needed to do. It'll be a full save here for Epsilon, and able to get their rifles out in the 19th round.
So keeping it going. It's important they do just that, and it's going to be a full eco, borrowing the Deagle from Arky, and a P250 as well from Alexis. But other than that, no Kevlar, no nades, no defuse kits, nothing. This is a throwaway round, but let's see if we can start to see some one-taps from him. A bit surprised that we wouldn't see him jumping across with the Deagle onto Don Q, a guy that we've said time and time again is just sick with the weapon. But clearly Arky's fancying his chances. So far it's been one-way traffic.
Not bad either.
Alexis just saw a player run past him as well there. I think that was Neto. Gets the one tap to the forehead from point-blank range, and that's a P90 in his hands as well. The bomb has, however, been planted in the meanwhile on A site, so it's still unlikely they're going to get much more out of this round. Alexis has been fragged.
Yeah, killed one. I'm sure Neto would have rebought anyways. I would not be surprised if Spitty keeps his P90. Or even if Ultra keeps his.
It would make sense, because again, it's one of those weapons, if you have some kind of a set piece onto, let's say, A, for example, the P90 is still pretty deadly at close range, even against armor. Like, you can still shred people.
And you can run with it too, never have to stop.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, and also you're throwing away, what, $2,350 or however much it costs to buy a Pinake. So this is what I'm talking about. They can just go for the hyper-aggression. It hasn't paid off with Spitty, but the idea was there.
Wow.
This is just a very confident CT round from Epsilon. They're shutting down this depot with authority. Just lose Alexis. Good round for them.
Yeah, a lot of times though, more so when you keep the MAC-10s alive, I kind of think of those rounds, like when you're going to the first rifle, you're still holding onto some submachine guns. Maybe confidence, there's a chance that you get the opening picks anyways and you just win the round as the T side without having to buy anything, and that's great. But a lot of times you just use the SMGs to run out first and kind of just scout and get some information on how the other team is actually going to set up their defenses on a rifle round. So grabbing some information there at the A site, and now you can see them setting up for a split A take. They boost up one to wait so that he'll drop middle and push up highway. And it's going to be a full A take. They think they know where people are playing. They've got to be expecting Alexis at Toxic on the top of the highway. And I don't know, I would think the way that they've set up from the information they got last round, I would expect Agents/Lions to take this.
Well, you can see that Molotov is going to funnel them in through this bottleneck, and Soka is going to use that opportunity to just spray. Easy round again for the CTs, and
or not.
This time it's Don Q that gets picked up. I mean, the setup was all good, but I think the issue there is that a couple players, I'm fairly sure, from Lions got killed through smoke. And that's just raw game sense from Epsilon to spray in the right areas. There's not much you can do about that from a T perspective. You have the smoke stand, you have the flashes. If you get smashed through the smoke, I mean, fair enough. It happens.
I think also, they should have went in just more dry, because they threw the smokes over, and that just telegraphed exactly that they were going to go for an A take. And the positions that they were actually playing, the ones they had scouted out last round, were still being played. But once the smokes came over, they all went into the site. And it just became so much more difficult. Like, the spots that you wanted to pre-fire, like, you couldn't, because they weren't there. Oh, I don't know. Ooh. How does a Molotov shoot you in the air? I don't understand, but 3-on-1 now. Mixwell. Coming from behind here, actually will get that frag. He's got a kid, he's got nades. Bomb hasn't even been planted yet. And that nade landing in the alleyway probably won't do much. Incendiary coming over. And a flash out. Oh, the player at Trash's turn. The other guy's burning in the sight. Oh, Mixwell, he nearly does it there.
That'd have been a beautiful clutch. That'd have been absolutely beautiful. But, it was interesting, wasn't it? Because that guy did die from Helium. I don't know, maybe his shirt caught fire or something. But either way, Epsilon don't win the round, but they are able to buy back up. Very interesting by this. Double ops when Alexis can't afford anything alongside Don Q. They
like
do
that
have an
Inferno
M4
round.
Though. Yeah.
With the two ops, the two submachine guns, and an AK.
I guess I can see this because they're assuming there's probably a couple SMGs on the board. They knew there was at least a P90, 2 P90s at most. So this could play in their favor, actually. If they hold their positions and they fire at range, they should be okay.
Well, Ultra will bring down Soaker, so there's another gun on the table for either Alexis or Don Q to pick up. Oh, Ultra behind. Will actually miss all of his shots. Doesn't even do a point of damage to Alexis, and Alexis turns around with the CZ long range, finds that kill. That's kind of rough. 4-on-3 right now. Although they have taken the B site, the terrorist that is, and whoa, a near hit there for Don Q, who I think had just picked up the off of Soaker. He's brought down by Neto. So Archie behind, 3-on-3, and you are retaking the site from both sides. This should be a pretty decent attempt here for the CTs. Unfortunately, Neto gonna move down from heaven with that P90 once again blazing, and now it's just Mixwell by himself once more. This time a 1-on-2, try to deal with that player over the headshot ledge, falling back, and just gonna look to save.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. No point throwing away that weapon. It will, however, be another round for Lions, and I mean, this half has been deceptively strong for them. Out of the 7 rounds that have been played, they've won 5. So it's not too bad at all. It just makes you think that if they had a much better CT performance, they could even be in the lead right now. Their T side has been pretty solid.
Indeed it has. Getting them in B actually the last 2 rounds in a row right now. A's been a little bit harder for Agent. Let's see if... I mean, it probably won't be this round, actually. Let's see. They did go Deagles in armor. They will be broke. They're still being forceful. They're actually kind of running out of rounds to just... Not so much mess around with, but they're running out of rounds to take risks with. Because... I mean, I would favor Agent here, and this will put them within 3 rounds now.
Yeah, and as soon as you get towards double digits in a couple of rounds, 3-4 rounds behind, that's when the comeback becomes a very real possibility. So I would even say that I'm beginning to believe right now. Oh, Mixwell, though, with that shot from Sandbags, shuts 4s down with authority up on the boost. The pop flash as well. No one's home just yet. It looks as though it's going to be a B push. 3 players, including the bomb carrier of Neto, are firing in, and they are going to be walking into the trap of Don Q, but he's the weakest member on the CTs right now. They have Deagles and other players. He's just got a USP, so that in itself is a bit of a head scratcher that you'd stack your weakest player on a site by themselves. They do have the cavalry charging in through vents. Mixwell gets himself another kill there, and quickly 3 kills come down for Lions, make that 4. They do pick up the 10th round, although I've got to say that was maybe a bit more costly than they were hoping for against ultimately just a few pistols and Deagles.
The 3rd round loss in a row means quite a bit of money back. We'll see some upgraded pistols. No armor this time. Maybe Don Q will. Yeah, he will. But they'll be able to buy up here in round 25. Try to do as much damage as they possibly can. Mixwell had a good round. The 2 kills with the rifle. Can't really ask for too much more than that. I thought perhaps he could trade it off to Alexis, who was still at 100 HP with armor. And then switch out a Deagle for his USP. Try to just stack the gun onto the person with health. But they didn't really go for it. And Mixwell down early on this round. He had just a 5-7.
And it's going to smart for sure. But again, it's not a round that I'm thinking Epsilon were expecting to win. Just kills would be nice. Full. I mean, this is Deco, right? This is old school Deco from Epsilon. 4 Deagles on an eco. Nice. Blast from the past. Donkey with the Kevlar as well. And they have a defuse kit. And still, the terrorists haven't planted. And they haven't really shown their hand thus far. Maybe that is going to be an early indication that A is completely open now. And they will just push through to plant the bomb. But those Deagles could certainly do work in this retake. That's if Epsilon wants to go for it, though.
Of course, though, the Deagle not quite what it was when the Deco was a viable strategy. It's still good. I wouldn't want to put my hopes on 5 of them. I wouldn't mind having Don Q with the Deagle every single round, though. After what he has shown us. And Spitty doing it Air Jordan style right there. Closing down that last kill onto Arky. All 5 surviving there for the T side. But another rifle coming out for Epsilon. Will they be able to close this out?
This is one of the reasons why the two of us have cast a lot of Cache recently on CEVO, and we say it's quite often. Cache is the map where, even if you do go a long way behind on T side, on CT side, pardon me, your T side can still rescue you. It is one of the more even maps. A strong T side can still rip CTs to shreds, and we're seeing that again here. 7 rounds as opposed to 2 in the second half for Lions.mix. And Epsilon will start to feel the pressure now. There's no 2 ways about it. They were in such a comfortable position after that first half, and now Lions are breathing down their necks, just 2 rounds behind. That is a good opener from Soka with 2 flags, looking for a third. Did dink Scythe, who's down to 30. Great start from Epsilon and just what they needed.
And they're trying to go vents right now. Alexis will spot that out and call it. Don Q, though, they're still there. Don Q's actually still on the site, and I don't even think they realized that Arky pushed up into Sunroom. He never even was spotted that round, so maybe he can do that again in the next one. Although I was a bit worried at the start of the round with him moving out towards that B warehouse to get into Sunroom by himself. I mean, that, like, if he dies doing that and no trade comes, that could have been rough. But Epsilon finally will get on the board. They find another rifle round. That is, I think, all rifle rounds for Epsilon of the 3 rounds that they've got on this half.
Yeah, I believe so. I think you're right on that one. So let's see if they can get their fourth. Now, train out there. Soka again has seemed to be a man on form in the last few rounds. I mean, he's 11 for 19, which isn't fantastic, but he seems to get a lot of impact kills and turn rounds in their favour, so you can't really look at those stats too much. I mean, Mixwell, of course, has been the stand-up player, 28 and 15. He's been phenomenal, but he has just fallen down, so the curse of the commentator is alive and well once more. And Epsilon, they need to bounce back. They have done that, but again, they get traded out. Good reaction frags from both teams. It's just going back and forth constantly. It finally, the scales tip in the CT's favour. And Neto, a man who is brilliant at clutching, as you highlighted before, Helium, is in a 1v2.
And he'll hear the bullet whiz past his head. He knows that one's a truck. I think he just saw Alexis cross. Unfortunately, this position's a bit difficult because you can see through the other side of that E-box. You can't get kind of shot while just trying to use it as cover from that truck. But he's pinched. He goes up the ladder. That's got to be heard, and Alexis will get him right at the top of it.
Unfortunate. Again, just caught between a rock and a hard place. And now 4 match points for Epsilon, who currently reside 1-0 up in this best of 3. 2 P90s, 2 Tech 9s, and an AK. On paper, this should be game, set, and match. But who knows? Maybe Lions are going to go for broke and rush onto a site. They do have 3 smokes, so this could be a set play onto A with a quick rush afterwards. But again, are they going to telegraph this? If they do, the CTs will just spray through that smoke all day, every day. It's going to be a fast push with the Tech 9s, forces straight through. He's been caught, however, the smoke's on point, and here comes Epsilon with 3 frags in quick succession. That's 3 in as many seconds, and there we go, 16-11. A bit of a whimper of an end from Lions, but they did try their best to come back in this map, but Epsilon, once again, just rose to the top, and for me, they definitely deserve that 2-0.
Yeah, I got a little rough there going on to the second half of Cash, but I mean, they put themselves in a good position that they didn't have to do very much. And in that last round, it looks like they were very prepared for a very forceful push onto either site. So they had dropped, their smokes down, like the smoke right there on A main. They had to push through it. And the other time we saw Lions try to get into the A site, they had to push through smoke, and they got absolutely blended. And it's the same situation there in the last round to close it out. So unfortunately, it will be farewell to Agent here from the main playoffs. They'll drop out of it. It's Epsilon that's going to move forward into the lower bracket round of 3, awaiting the victor of, ESC Gaming versus, I think at this point it'll be ESC Gaming versus Pitter, and then the winner bracket finals, which we'll probably actually have to wait a while to see, because again, LDLC White has traveled to Montreal for ESWC, but it'll be LDLC White versus Mortal Kombat in the winner bracket finals. And we're getting close to finishing up these main playoffs. But if you do want some more action, of course, North America is going on tonight. I believe it'll be Enemy GG versus Team Sinister and Mortality Esports versus Incursion. Should be one of those best of 3s coming up tonight, perhaps both. It looks like, 9 p.m. Eastern will be Enemy GG versus Team Sinister. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern, Mortality versus Incursion. So I think they might both be tonight. So make sure to come back. You can follow the channel too, mlg.tv/playcevo. Hopefully you enjoyed today's presentation of the CEVO main playoff brackets. I'm Helium, with me was Metuz, and Metuz, I don't know if you got anything else to say before we head out.
Just pleasure as always, had a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys tune in later on for the NA stuff. Should be just as good.
Alright guys, we'll see you next time. Until then, peace out.